Welcome to another Tiny Tuesday. I'm Christy here at My Artful Adventures, and today we are going to make a little tab-bound envelope journal. And so these are a lot of fun, and I want to show you real quick how to do these. One of the tips, though, before we get started, if for some of these, and you can use either, flat, squared off envelopes if you want to. I like these pointed ones because they're kind of fun because you can make a tuck spot in here, at the side if you don't completely glue that flap shut. And so sometimes I like to just leave them until I kind of put it together before I decide where I want to have those open. And so that's easy enough to do and glue them completely shut, as you progress through the project. But you need an even number of envelopes. So I've got 4 here. I thought, I've got so many of these, and if I fold these in half, it's going to be kind of a little taller, skinny little thing. And I thought, well, that would be kind of fun. I haven't made one that is that shape, and I think that could be fun. But before we get started with that, I want to show you a quick little trick of how to mat your envelope flaps if you would want to do that. So if you'll line them up or stick this in here before, and you could do it if you forgot, you still could do that afterwards. But what you want to do is just trace along here, stick that in there all the way, and then just trace around here. And then all you've got to do is cut that out. And I'm going to show you real quick because there's another little fun thing that if you want to make a border, I'll show you how to do that. So, so that it looks like the edge of your envelope is actually a mat. So I'll show you real quickly how to do that because this is such an easy way to do it. So all you have to do, okay, so now if we want to mat this, there we go. It fits right there, right? You could ink it, you could do whatever you wanted to. But watch what happens if you just clip a tiny bit off. Let's just, this has got lines. This is going to be easy for me to go ahead and clip through here. Okay, so if you just take a little bit off of the bottom, now then you can line this up, and now you've got a little bit of a border around the edge showing. That's all you have to do is trim some off the bottom. And so the more you would trim off the bottom, the wider that this would be across here. So I'll show you a little bit more. We'll trim a little bit more off, and I'll show you how you just take off some at the bottom, and now you've got that edge showing. So super easy. Now when you get ready to fold your envelope and it's folded in half, you might want to also cut a little bit off the center, and then it would look more like you have it centered and matted all the way around, right? So let's look at what that would look like. So I wanted to do this first, so I don't forget. So you could have that there, and then it's not going to be in the way when you fold the envelope. So that's just a quick tip to get started, and you might want to do that. And think about what kind of papers that you're going to use. I'm not going to decorate this because that's not the point of this. My point is for you to know how to create the structure, right? And so in just doing that part, we can do a quick video and you can learn how to make the structure, and then you can decide what you want to do for colors and papers and all that good stuff. Then it becomes very personal for you. So what we're going to do is we are going to put these in half. Let me see. If I just decided to do this by hand and fold it, let's see how that's going to work if we did that and then just use a bone folder. That might be fine. In fact, I think I'm just going to do that. That's a lot quicker. You don't have to have so many tools, right? So then we'll just fold it this way. Oh, that works fine. And then we'll do, so make sure you have an even number. And I'll show you in a minute. When we start putting the little tabs on, that will make more sense as to why you would want an even number of envelopes. And just like this makes a great little pocket this way, you can see how if you were using envelopes that had straight flaps, you would just have straight little pockets. We make those a lot, right? So that wouldn't be any different. No different at all. And now you can cover with paper these flaps, and then you're not even going to see them. If you don't want to, you don't have to see them, right? But see, by doing this, I have the option to decide where I'm going to, you know, glue them shut afterwards. Okay, so, and I like to make sure I get them all the right direction. I've done some before and had them upside down. You need 3 for the first one, and then we're going to line them up like this. They're going to go in the top, the middle, and the bottom. And so that's where those will be for the first one. And then the second one only gets 2. And the third one gets 3 again. That one gets 3. And you guys, I'm using some ribbon here because in a pinch, and if you didn't think you were going to have to, if you really didn't think you were going to use it that much, you could just use little paper strips and glue those on. But when you use ribbon, or, you can use linen tape, which sometimes anymore, you can get really pretty linen tape that's decorated. But that is the kind of thing that is, actually made for book binding, book repair, things like that, is linen tape. And, that works out well. I would not suggest that you use washi tape permanently because, sometimes it actually can tear. You don't want your book, you don't want to do all this work for your book and then it tear, right? So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to get started on this one, and I'm just going to glue these 3 down. And so I'm going to put this in. Now try to get your glue close to the edge. I wish I would have, let me put this on my grid, kind of center it. And then I can get that more in the center. Okay. Now I want my glue, I want it to come close to the edge, you guys. Because if it's close to the edge, it's going to give you less wiggle on as you're opening and folding your little pages. So we're going to put that there. Get this one here, and then we're going to flip it. Flip it like this. And then on this one, I'm going to hold this one up here, and I'm going to look and place these in between. And you guys, you can just keep adding pages. It doesn't matter, but you do want to have an even number of your pages. And then in between here, and so this one we'll place here, and this one goes here. Okay, and now I do have a little piece of parchment paper, just like, from the grocery store, just the same kind you'd use in your oven. I'm just going to put that there and line those up. And now with this one, I can hold it up here, and now I know exactly where to place these. And again, I want this to be over here at the edge, so I get a good seal at my edge. And just get your glue down. All right, it's kind of self-explanatory, right? And now I'm going to put, now these are going to wiggle all around. But I do have a place here I can hold, right? Okay, so this one goes here. We're going to try to match it up right there. And match this one. And these, whoops. And if you can get them matched up, you'll just like it better the way it looks on the outside. It doesn't affect anything about how it works. It just is going to look better. Okay, so now that we've got this here, I'm going to pull this out a little. I just don't want that glue sticking on there. So now what we do with this one is we're going to take these first pages, the 3 on the first page, and we're going to wrap them around here to the back of the second page that we've got holding here. It's in a holding pattern, people. Okay, and again, I want to try to get my glue close to the edge because that'll just help seal it. make it tighter. It'll give it a tighter fit, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then this one here. I'll probably come back and work on this too. Okay, and then just fold that around, wrap it kind of tight. Okay. Now, when you decorate it, then your papers are going to cover this up, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so let's put another piece of parchment down here while that glue is still drying. We'll put this one here, and now this time, as we place this one on top, then we're going to pull these two around. Put those into place. You just want to line your envelopes up the best you can. Okay, so now this is the second, number 2 and 4, and just like that. And then wrap these around and try to get them tight. I almost got my glue not in the right place right there. Okay, I'm going to grab another parchment. And now see, this is why we don't need anything on that last one. You guys, I should have been double checking to make sure I had my flaps going the right way still. Okay, and so we can put that one there. And just our glue here, again, close to the edge. And I like this kind of ribbon. This is, it's a woven ribbon. And so that's going to, you know, last you. It's going to be a lot stronger than just like a piece of paper would be, right? And so it's going to have some longevity to it. I think I said that funny. Okay. All right, there we go. And just kind of wipe the, wipe their glue as you go. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to kind of leave those. So now we've got this. So now if I want to make a tuck spot here, now what I would do, or let's say I'm not going to make a tuck spot here. All I would do now is just go ahead and close it up. Now I can just close, I'll just close it. Just put where the glue is, the glue that would be on the envelope itself. Just put it along there. And that way I can clip this along here and make a side pocket instead. Or maybe even make one in the very front. Oh, now I actually wish I would have done the second one that way instead. Oh no, I was thinking this was going to run into the other thing. But now, this is what we can do. We can just trim off a teeny tiny bit of this. Just enough to release it and open it up. Just teeny tiny. And now look, we've got a pocket in this way too. So there we go. And then on this one, I think I would want to use the flap for a pocket in this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this other glue because I don't really need a lot. Look, I made kind of a mess with that. Let me see if I've got an eraser. Kind of erase those pencil marks. Not even sure how I got those. Okay, and now on these, I don't really want to put the glue right in the crease because it'll make the crease a little bit, harder to fold. There we go. I'm just going to put a tiny bit, and you only have to do it on one side because the other one, because now it's sealed. So this one isn't going to go any farther than that. So there you go. So now we've got these two pockets here, here, and here. And so that's just a couple of ways to have, some pockets. But this is how, now we've got our little binding here. I think those are dry enough to take our papers out. And now we can decorate it, you guys. So that is the basic method to do your tab bindings. And it's just out of the way. It's just a lot of fun. It's just another way to do it. And now I have this whole open place like this. In fact, if I wanted to make something that was kind of a whole, spread, you could do that. We're used to doing things like, half and half. By using this, and you don't even have that split, you could actually do something with that whole, 6 inches, really. And then we got our pockets. So I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you will, make one with with some of the things that you have. And like I said, you can, and in a pinch, you could probably use some washi tape. And if you want to just practice and just do, just do flat pages, you can just cut some cardstock up and, and make it like that. Any size, you guys, my goodness, any size you can make your little, tab bound journal. So I hope that you have enjoyed that. And so I will see you next time. If you've enjoyed this today, I hope that you will like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time for Tiny Tuesday.